Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron for Millennium Dawn with me of Biomega and Ukraine. So, in the last session, we have went through the civil war, but something was stolen from us. We have lost Crimea to Russia. Now, I've done everything I could to be prepared for such a conflict, but it seems like the game has modeled it pretty much perfectly. While we were focused with the uprising of Novorossiya and putting it down, Russia has crossed our borders and just stormed the place, stealing it without we could even notice it. So that's actually kind of realistic because while the current conflict in Ukraine is a full-out blown war, the Crimean War was actually more of a special military operation, you could call it that. As ironic as it might seem, more than half of the soldiers that were defending Crimea against the Russians have given up, and most of the population there did actually. And again, this is mostly because Russians have been preparing for this for a number of months, but they were pretty much welcome there. And that just adds insult to injury of the Ukrainian nation. So I now have a goal for ourselves. We are taking Crimea back. I don't know when, I don't know how, but this is our end goal. Crimea will become Ukrainian because it is Ukrainian. And with that said, we are going to continue with the build-up of economy of our country, and I'll slowly start putting us into a bit more interventionist policies, and we'll see if, an opportune situation pops up in which we could maybe take it. Now, I don't know if there is something like a potential conflict between Russia and China, if there is a conflict between Russia and Turkey, or European Union or Russia. We'll be prepared. Whatever happens our way, we'll be there, and we'll be prepared with our military to take back what is ours. I can promise you that. So, without further ado, I'm going to start the game with just one small note. I actually tried to look Mykola Borisov, but I couldn't find anything about this guy. Now, a couple of you have already noted that he looks more like a West German politician from the year 2000, so I'm not really sure if this is a made-up character or if he does in fact exist. If you're Ukrainian and you know him, or if you're Ukrainian and you don't know him, please let me know, because I would really be interested in learning who this guy is and if he's real or not. Okay, so let's look at our state, do a little recap. We're working on the utility vehicles, we're working on the man-pads and the mounted ATGMs, and on 2 civilian technologies, excavation 4 and improved biofuel refinery. So that is good. As far as our civilian construction goes, we are now at 15 factories. Pretty damn good. We'll need to upgrade it though. Remember, for each of our factories built for military, we need to build at least one civilian industry to keep it down. Now, our taxes are only 45%, so for each 3 factories we build, only one will be taken away, but that still means that we need to increase our capacities. Remember, it's a snowball. And as a snowball, we need to keep an eye on it. We have a number of things that we want to build. The next factory is going to start producing some utility vehicles for us. We're upgrading the ATGMs, working on the command equipment, on small arms, on the IFVs. Actually, as far as IFVs goes, I am really determined to actually start making some variants for ourselves, because we're going to rely on these babies quite dramatically. Now, the current IFV, it's not what I wanted to do, but okay, has a defense of 18, breakthrough of 11, and costs 925. Now, if we try to do some extra thing here, for example, giving it more armor, we could. So the regular IFV, where is it here, has a defense of 18, armor of 21. We could put it to 23. The main gun would also be pretty cool to upgrade. But we'd also need to make sure that the reliability is gone. And making it weaker with a higher piercing. Yeah, once we actually manage to upgrade all of our IFVs, or actually once we get the next variant, which I believe unfortunately is a 2015 one, isn't it? Yeah, Kurganets here and IFV 2015. We might actually start making heavier variants because this will be the workhorse of our army. Now, one thing that we need to keep in mind is that the terrain will be crucial for any conflict with Russia. So, what that means is that if you look at the terrain map mode of Crimea, it is mostly plains, but there are some hills here and some forests, and the border area is plains. So if you wanted to strike this area quickly, it would be kind of good to make a special, really quick unit that would be heavy and strong enough to deal with any opposition. So I never really used these before because they have quite a lot of demands and they require a lot of equipment. But a light air assault infantry would be awesome for such a task. Now I'm not sure if we could combine it. Yeah, we can't combine it with any other infantry. It would have to be just them. And I don't think, yeah, nothing here would really help. Well, we could put the heavy engineer company there. That would be pretty good. And that does not really slow them down much. But it would give them additional bonuses. Recon is not happening. Anything that we could add there? Is there something that would allow us to do this quicker? Well, motorized airborne infantry would also go well together with it, so we might look into something like that. And armored air assault infantry, yeah, we could combine it with these. They require what? Transport helicopters. Yeah, so having a special force comprising of these airborne infantries that could take Crimea while we put the bulk of our forces for an assault against Kursk, some other going and securing this river perimeter, another one going here, and possibly even here along this river, defending it, on the border of Voronezh, Lyskiv, Rosot, Frolova. We'll need really good plans for an attack before we actually start that. There's Tula. Moscow would require several days worth of operation, but I'm not sure if there is like a stalemate here. If we, just for Crimea, would have to fight and take all of Russia, that would be really weird, but things like that can maybe happen. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. So, and it's the music of the future. So you guys, are you drilling? No, you are not. So you can start doing that, and our Air Force can also do the same thing. Now, yes, Air Force, that is the bane of my existence, and we'll need to focus on it heavily now. So I guess one of these research slots is going to be dedicated fully to Air Force. Now, it's not going to be the civilian one or the civilian 2. It's going to be one of these. Probably the one... No, we need the special. Though, no. No, it's going to be you, the manpads. Once we finish you, you will be dedicated. We're going to have to go with an... Well, this is the question now. What is the difference between you? Now, I can envision having... Yeah, the cause air support. What's your air defense? Agility, air superiority. No, we will need to focus on air superiority fighters. While the motor rolls would be awesome, I really think we will need to get Air Force that will protect our units more than bomb the enemy out of existence. And if a conflict with Russia arises at any point, we are going to make sure that we treat them better than they treat Ukraine in the real world. I'm not going to bomb them. I'm not going to do anything heinous like that. Okay, so we got excavation 4 finished. Extra resource gain efficiency. Now, do you want to go with fuel refinery? Or do we want to go with this? the machine learning, and then sociable machines. Someone recommended that we look into the biology. Okay, you reduce cost monthly population. Yeah, that's something that we will really need. So maybe let's start with this, DNA fingerprinting. That's going to lower the cost of our police changes. What does it say? DNA fingerprinting was one of the greatest inventions of the 20th century. Fingerprinting assisted in making significant strides in policing, profiling, and so much more within the genetics field. Now, our manpower will be something that we will need to absolutely maximize if we are going to have any chance against Russia. So let's keep that in mind. Closer ties with the West. Now, Russia has not replied to us in any way to the poking of the bear. So we'll have a different one side sovereignty project. Well, we'll see. Now, I don't think we need nuclear weapons, but it's something to keep in mind. It is something to keep in mind. Okay, the military factor is coming along nicely. That is awesome. Production is pretty cool. We lost quite a lot of oil in here. Can I see? Okay, yeah, we lost free oil there. And yeah, we lost some military bases there, especially the port in Simferopol. That is painful. That is painful. But we're very close to being able to get another doctrine. Actually, the game is offering me a naval doctrine. Carrier organization, carrier organization, carrier organization. Nuclear submarines. It's not exactly what I'm interested in. How much Navy experience can we keep? 1,000. Okay, well, at least that's something that I could use. But yeah, I'm mostly interested in military doctrines next. This one gives you planning speed, but I think we want this one, encryption. That is going to be something that we will also need to boost. Now, frankly, I think they've done a lot of changes to this. Maybe the network-centric warfare would have been a better choice for us. Even though, yeah, initiative, soft attack, decryption, air superiority, damn, okay. Well, we have access to more things here, but we'll see. We'll have to see. There's just too many moving parts at this point. And we'll need to reform more of our units. Now, I'm okay with you guys. That is fine. The Hirsko-Šturmová Brigada has been also reformed. We haven't really reformed the Zenitny Raketny Polk, so we'll need to figure what we want to do with them. Motopiechotná Brigada is just a fast-moving... Actually, it's not even a fast-moving. That sucks, but we could turn you into motorized recon. And then I might have some usage for you. Tank Brigade has been finished as well, so that's good. We're used to using the Marines. This one we are using, but I think I can change those. Okay, then the Special Forces, that's something that we want to do, and maybe we could design the Air Force, or, flying infantry, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it's encryption. And here we can get extra soft attack and organization for tanks, so let's do that. That will be important. Now, most of the northern border here are plains and forests. So the plains are good for tanks, while the forests are better for infantry. So we need to keep that in mind. So the closer ties with the West has been finished. That is good. And we can go with the NATO standards. Ideology, drift defense, they with pro-Western support, acceptance of pro-Western diplomacy, and they with emerging support. Not sure why it's really lowering our stability though. I guess maybe some people might not like it. US non-NATO ally. Ukrainian neutrality. Confirm non-block status. Yeah, can't really do that one. Special defensive agreement. Interesting. The wall project. Yeah, we lost the ability to do that one. So let's go with the NATO standards for now. That's going to be useful for us. I can repay additional 8 billion and our interest rate is now 3.3, which leaves us at 1.75 billion per week. Now we can not do the stability at this point, but I'm gonna do that together with courting local leaders. We want the stability to go up at the same time. There's not much here that we can do. Well, I can lease the industrial complexes. It's going to help. And how are we doing on this? Okay, 14 now. Yeah, that's the extra military factory for you. The effect will be felt, but look at that, we're actually working on our utility vehicles. Nice. I don't think we can modify those, can we? Be kind of surprised if that was... Yeah, you can't. Oh, but you could make the ATGM a bit better. Piercing. Because these are super cheap, so having them have an extra punch might not be a bad idea. Surprised by that, I wasn't expecting that. And we'll need to transport the helicopters. Well, you can modify trains. You can't modify trains, okay. But we can do the... we'll need to get better helicopters for our flying units if we ever want to do something there. Okay, is that thing not available to us because we have... because we have the stability too high? Not sure. But I'm not waiting any longer. Let's court local leaders. And event or decision. Yeah, civilian industry will be built in Odessa. That's the last thing Russians are going... Well, actually, that's one before the last thing that Russians are ever going to build in our country. And then Sloboda Ukraine, and then we are done with Russia officially. And it looks like we're gonna definitely repay the debt sooner than later. Can we up something again? Now, I know that the basic universal healthcare would be good. Extra division recovery rate, extra political power. Oh, but look at that cost. Oh. What are you doing? Stability, political power gain. Yeah, these are also extremely expensive. But basic universal healthcare, we could actually maybe even jump to the 2.24. That would be 1 extra billion for us. Well, let them protest. They can protest now, we don't care. The revolution is already done. Hey, we can do the support campaigns now. Good. Good. So I was afraid that we couldn't in the future, but that is fine. So I could really just jump straight to advanced universal healthcare, which means we wouldn't be gaining any money. Well, we would be gaining a bit, but we would have maxed out. Okay, let's do that. It's time we pay our people what they're worth. Yeah, 500 million. But that will give us additional factories. Yeah, we're at 15 now. The tax cost has been lowered to 33%, and all the extra money now are gonna travel to us lowering the taxes. That is something that we want to do. Now we're missing equipment production, which are the bombers. I don't mind that. You can just ride them to the ground. Utility vehicles. Yeah, we're gonna upgrade you soon. 3.79. So we can definitely get to at least one per day, which is good. Because those things will be important in the grand scheme of things. Manpads will be done in 20 days. And the Kras Spartan will be done in 42 days. And mounted ATGM in 52 days. Good lord, everything is going great. 8 military industries. Now I will have to check how good we were in the previous playthrough, but I think we might be beating it to that. It's definitely something that is a good idea. And regarding the manpads, okay, you can increase their effectiveness. We can actually make a variant that would have an extra attack, but I don't see that doing much. Can you do something with your weapons too? That would be funny. Nope. Okay, never mind. But the ATGM is kinda inviting, considering that we're producing almost 2 per day, and we will definitely get to more than 2 per day. And the artillery would be good as well. Like, I mean, those things will be heavy. How much cost would there be? I don't see that. That kind of sucks that it's not showing us that, but well, buggy game will be buggy. What can you do? We pay a bit of debt. Our interest rate is now 3.1%. That is how you do it. Okay. And the population, let's see. Monthly growth in states is 380 recruitable people and almost 41,500 people as civilians. Okay, so we get the manpads done. Now, I think I mentioned that we might want to go for that, but what is next really on the list so that we go a bit strategically? Wait, there's production, yeah, here. So the next one would be the mounted ATGMs. So I can actually go with that. Oh, I'm already working on that. Okay, so the SPAA and one of you is going to be turned into... Yeah, that's the latest one. So we might turn you into a tank. Or actually, no, you're going to go with the artillery, but the other one is going to focus on the Air Force. Which reminds me, I might want to start producing the new ones. Yeah, this is not helping enough, so let's put you down 4.51 per week. But hey, it is worth it. Now, how's our divisions doing? Mechanizovaná brigada is doing pretty well. Defense is high, breakthrough is high. They still have, unfortunately, quite a lot of aged equipment, and they have no mounted ATGMs, yeah. But they're starting to get their utility vehicles, so, you know, at least there's something. We can be happy about that. Factories are being... Oh, look at that! Now we have an overlap. An extra factory working on the factory. Good for us. Okay, so the infrastructure will be something that we ought to look into. So let's do it like this. And another military factory here. a civilian factory here. Okay, and we finished the NATO standards. Attempting to join NATO will require many changes to our current military model and governance type. We will be unable to bypass many of the conditions for joining NATO. It is time to enlist our newfound friends to help us modernize our decaying military. We're still at 100%. NATO membership action plan. Pro-Western. Okay, Ukraine requests to join NATO. Let's go with European Union integration. Across association agreement, yeah, we need that done. Which we won't, not in anytime soon. Let's go with Ministry of Infrastructure next. That will be beneficial to us, because getting extra infrastructure might be good, and I might actually want to look into the supply situation. We saw that it wasn't all that hot for us. So improving our railways, and especially improving their long-term viability would be good. Okay, the Cross Spartan will be done in 7 days. That is great. IFVs, okay, are at max efficiency, and we are producing one probably every second day. Almost 3.42 per week, and we need 923. So as IFVs will be our main workhorse, we definitely need an extra factory there, unfortunately. So we'll need to keep an eye on that. Okay, the Spartan has been finished, and at this point we could even go ahead of time and start working on these, but that's so expensive I'm not even going to bother. So you're going to be done soon. So let's go with the T-84. That is something that we will want, because the main battle tank will be something, and with the T-84 and the new main battle tank, we are going to look into it. So we can switch this utility vehicle, the BMP-97, for the KRAZ Spartan, I guess would be the way to put it. Defense 5, breakthrough 6, you got defense 4, breakthrough 5. An extra heart attack, right? Yeah, I think we can do with you. But unfortunately, that's down to 1.97 per week again. Well, but you know, we'll get there. This is gonna stick for a while. It's 2008, so any additional boost that we are going to get is going to take us some time to roll out. Sloboda Ukraine. That's the last thing you are doing to us, Russia. I guarantee you that. Actually, do we have... And we do have an armor research. But I think it might be a good idea to get... Well, the Antonov would be great, but that's for heavy aircraft. We have just... What? No, I did not want to click on that. But I did. Okay, never mind. That extra research time is not going to hurt us. But it's not worth... $100 bucks, basically 100 political bucks. But a limited interventionism might be... Yeah, I think this is actually a good roleplay reason to go with. So let's switch to limited interventionism. Does it have a description? We are willing to risk the lives of our own soldiers to make sure our friends survive. And we are going to continue with that as well as in the future. Defense 4, heart attack 10. Defense 3, heart attack 9. So that's an extra bonus. What about the speed? 17. Piercing 17, you had piercing 16. And the difference is not so high, so let's just keep it as it is. You're gonna get the next next factories. Let's put you like this. Utility vehicles. We're working on a civilian one now, so we're gonna get that one, and we're gonna get the one in Sloboda, Ukraine. And this slot is now officially going to the aircrafts. Flanker. It kind of sucks because I'm tempted to just go with something that can give us a close air support. But the problem is we don't really have enough for it. What's the difference between you and the flanker? The Su-24 fencer and the Su-27 flanker. Air defense is lower, agility is lower, air superiority is lower, air attack is lower. Yeah, strategic bombing and naval attack and ground attack. Yeah, you're pretty much a close air support. Drones are also something that I would really like to work on eventually, but they cannot be used. We might actually use the drones for close air support while we use these guys for owning the sky. That is not a bad idea, frankly. Not a bad idea. So who do we need to reform now? Probably you, right? Yeah, we have a couple of you, 2 divisions. You guys might actually be worth using speed as your main goal. So motorized actually, let's have 2 recon units here. Wait. Mobile battalion, motorized recon. That's a militia. That's not what I want. Motorized infantry. Soft attack, hard attack, air attack. I'd really like it if I could put in some... Okay, heavy engineering company would not slow you down. So that's a really good thing, because that would just give you generally a big boost. The air defense would though. As with anything here. But a reconnaissance unit would be pretty good as well. If we add it like this, we combat with 36, and if I added this would be 40. So would I have enough for this? No, if I add that one, that's too much. But like this, it's fine. 35, 120 soft attack, hard attack, but the speed is the imperative, and they would probably be great. Hills, okay, that's good. Urban, pretty good. What about the plains? Desert, fort. Where's the plains? Hills, plains. Extra defense though. That's not bad. So let's get you guys, and we'll have you as a fast-moving units to encircle and take down enemy units. That's gonna probably boost the requirements for... Wait, what's the production? Yeah, 1230. Yeah, we're raising... Oh. One of the largest companies within our nation has declared bankruptcy today. It is truly a sad day for our economy. Yeah, the international bankers are mad. Not much you can do with it. Doctrine, so I don't really want a doctrine here. Well, we can go this way down, because you can see that the submarine, but also guided missile frigate and so on are pretty good. So let's just waste it on this line, and we'll see how that's gonna go. Okay, anyway, on that note, I am going to end the episode here. We are just going to chill. You can see that the manpower is starting to skyrocket. That is awesome. We lost a bit of construction power, but that's because we are no longer leasing the industrial capacities from abroad. So we're going to do that. Our debt to GDP is now officially down to 40%, meaning we have a 3% interest rate. That's where we started in the beginning, quite honestly. Good for us, and I believe that Russian is still increasing. Yep, 8.6. They are losing money every week, which is great. So Ministry of Infrastructure is working, and I think that is actually all that we can do here. You know what? I'm gonna do one more thing, and it's gonna be I'm gonna check Syria. Yeah, there is still a fight between the democratic Muslim Brotherhood of Syria is not very democratic, but it's non-aligned, and they're fighting against Bashar al-Assad. Oh, wait, he did actually take some territory here. That is new. Wish we could get involved somehow, but I don't think we can. Non-aggression pact. I could send an attaché or join war. We must be in a faction. Justify war goal. Can't we even start military aid? Oh, we would need a world tension at 10%, and it's currently 7. Oh, well. But I'll maybe think about it, because supporting an ally, or at least a democratic nation in a fight. Well, again, democratic. I'm not sure. Like, the Muslim Brotherhood is as far from democratic as you can sometimes get. But at least they got the non-aligned and then not emerging outlook. Which this one I consider as bad as Salafist. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. This has been Ukraine. I'm gonna see you in the next episode, where we are going to continue with the build-up. And the build-up is actually making me happy. Though we are desperately out of supplies in most of the things. We just have a lot of tanks and stuff like that. That's not great. Not gonna lie, that is not great.